No, you're coming right now. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Mir Musk, the Gina Bobina / Debbie Dabbler interview. Debbie / Gina, how are you doing?
Hello, everybody. Hello,
Bonjour,
lovies.
bonjour, mademoiselle.
Bonjour, monsieur. Vous allez
Bien,
bien?
oui, oui, oui.
Good.
Bienvenue, Mir Musk.
Grazie. Grazie.
Yeah, I don't know any of this shit,
I'm a
so
little
all
nervous,
you do.
but it's very nice to meet you. Thanks for having me. I'm
it's
honored.
it's an honor to have you. You are probably one of the most highly respected and
Really?
prolific chatters in this whole Dabbleverse world. So we thought we'd get you on to talk a little bit. And I also know that you have also several other varied interests, and you've done some streams before, so we can get into all that. But yeah, it's just great to have you here today. And
You look beautiful, you know.
look,
Thank
yeah, of
you.
course, the apple of so many other chatters' eyes. Stuttering John, one of our former guests, Kenneth Pogue, was a huge fan of yours, as are most of the chatters. So it's a pleasure to have you here. And I want to get into the Dabbleverse stuff first and foremost, because how did you get tied into all this? When
Ooh,
was your start into it?
I don't even know how it started, but I've been listening to Howard for a long time, Howard Stern. And I was mostly mingling in the radio gunk chats because who listens to Howard live anymore? I kind of listen through them. And Carl came on one day and he says, "Oh, there's this whole Dabbleverse going on." And he explained whatever it was at that time. And at that time, it was just people starting to watch a show and starting to catch on. So I'm like, holy shit, this is totally for me because for years now, I've started catching little lies, but stuff you really had to know if you listened long term to the Howard Stern show. So
Right.
it's like I'm calling out all his lies in my head, and nobody else really. Well, there was a couple of people, but mostly Carl at that time was, doing videos on him. I'm like, oh, Carl gets it. Okay, so that's how I got my introduction to
So
the
it was the
Dabbleverse.
goat.
Yeah,
The goat was being
exactly.
covered by Carl, and then you saw the clips on YouTube, and you're like, "Wow, this is pretty good." And kind of those worlds, the radio gunk and
Exactly. So,
WATP world, merged together.
and at that moment, it was like such a comic relief, an
Yeah,
unintended comic relief. And I started making my own videos on my Debbie Dabbler channel. I totally barnacled myself to the community, to be quite honest. And my editing skills, it's not really that good, but I got a lot of practice doing it and I learned a lot, especially with all these dabblers. Holy shit, some of these videos look like cinematic presentations. It's
oh,
really good. The audio design, beautiful. So it was very inspiring for my channel.
yeah. So it's kind of a creative outlet, labor of
Yes, and it's
passion
a
and
great distraction
great
because at that
distraction
time I
from.
was going through like so much shit in my head that it kind of kept me focused on, something positive in a way, like more positive endorphins,
Yeah,
after
something
laughing.
light, and that was the thing. It's like it is a distraction for better or worse for some people. Like it can take over your life, and but then other people focus on maybe something they have no control over, like politics, or whatever it is. So I can kind of relate to that. It's like, are you going to spend all your time consuming content that's this or that? And of course, it's evolved over the months,
Oh,
years
yeah.
to what it is now. And yeah,
And
you're
it keeps
still,
evolving. It's like there's a lot of new character introductions. Like it's hilarious the way everybody comes together, but also just fights with each other. It's fascinating.
yeah, it's
It's fascinating. And people are always asking, whose side are you on? But
Yeah,
a
you're
real
pretty
dabbler doesn't take sides, it
right,
watches
you're pretty
everything.
just, you're
yeah. Well, some people have found like great community in it, so they
That's the
spend
best
they're on
part.
a side and they're us versus them type mentality and all that. But I'm not as deep into it as in that realm so much. I just try to enjoy what
Exactly.
people
Just
put
have fun
out.
with it.
Yeah, no doubt. So um beyond that, I mean, you were also where I first discovered you was, in the chats, but then you were kind of being featured on Total BS, which was one of the first shows that kind of covered the Dabbleverse.
I still don't know if they were trolling me or not. I still don't know. It's like there's so many things that have been happening like on different shows. I'm like, is everybody getting together and trolling me? But maybe I'm just crazy.
There's a good chance, who knows? But at the same time, who cares? It's kind of like one of those things.
As long as it's funny. Like I could take some trolling, like the fake Gina Bobinas. Like most of the time, I'm just laughing because
you made
energy it must take to have like 5 different accounts and make sure to find me on one of the random streams I go to. It's just funny. I appreciate the effort. I'm honored.
Yeah. When that happens, there's a bunch of people running around with Dr. Chow and avatars and chatting, causing ruckus in the chat. Elisa Jordana. Yeah. So
I tweeted
you
her
made
the
it.
other day. I tweeted Elisa the other day and I said, how dare you? Because I saw her in chat. I don't remember whose, I think Ray's. And she was just talking shit. So come to find out, it's not even Elisa, obviously. And Elisa's like, you've been in my chat talking shit, which I've never even visited her chat. So it's like kind of funny. So we kind of like, the fake prank calls over the phone, the fake, you put 2 people on each line and you have them talk. It's like the same thing.
Yeah, I get people DMing me all the time, like, "Hey, why did you say that I was part of this, and why did you call me fat and all this stuff?" And I'm like, in different people's chats, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, so I haven't watched, I've never seen that show. I don't know. Sorry, dude. But,
Gina, are you part of that girl podcast thing? That huge thing like Dirty Dalish and all this.
No invite.
All those people did. You weren't part of that at all?
No. I think I've caught a couple of clips, but I think they do it mostly during the day. But it's the one with AJ, Stormy, the Double D, right?
Yeah.
No, I'd like to join one day if they'll have me. I love all those girls.
Yeah, they're great. Speaking of which, Ari Jane has been a topic of conversation lately on Ray's show. If any of you guys have been catching it, he's been trying to imply some different things about why me and Ari's show ended. And
what is that? Let's get to the bottom of it.
Let's get to the bottom of it right now. So me and Ari were talking this morning, and she might jump on today to clear the air on it. But basically, Ray and Ari have an agreement. After an incident that happened at a comedy club WATP event, they had an agreement about not talking about each other, I guess. So yeah, basically. And Ray's kind of walking a fine line with that agreement. And
who brought the agreement up? It was Ray, I assume.
No.
What?
No. Yeah, Ray did some stuff, and
in his big mouth.
Dirty.
He keeps promoting her business that she doesn't want to have anymore.
No. We'll get into it. Ari will come on and we'll talk about it at some point. But the reason me and Ari stopped doing our show was actually because of Ray. Ray would basically pester her and bother her, call her, text her nonstop once we started doing our show. Really? Saying like, "Oh, you can't do a show," and he was very controlling about who she could stream with. He would always gossip about me, Pat Dixon, Kevin, all these different people, telling him like he wanted to be like in charge of her because he brought her into it, and it was his professional career.
He wants to micromanage.
Yeah, so we kind of said like, whatever, it's not a big deal.
Which he'll refuse to do in his own career.
Yeah. So then Ray's going around saying, "Oh yeah, well this is why this happened and all that." But I'm a forgiving man, Ray, and you can apologize for just making up shit, and we'll let it go. But I just want you to remember that you do have an agreement to uphold about the incident, and you should probably stick to that agreement because it's in your best interest.
But wait, is he still talking about her?
Yeah, all week he has been. So he's been running his mouth about a whole bunch of shit, and she's none too happy about it. So
I'm trying to think because I was there a couple of times. I don't remember anything, but I have goldfish memory.
Yeah. Well, sign up to his Patreon or his members only chat, and you can
Yeah, okay.
catch up on all of it. So I'll leave it at that for now. When we have Erin on, maybe we can discuss the truth.
Get into that with AJ.
Yeah, I would love to. So
I'm curious to see what she would say. That would be
yeah.
good.
Yeah, so I just wanted to address that off the rip, and beyond that, I don't really want to get too much further into it because Ray knows, I know
He knows
what happens. Yeah, he knows what happened. So we'll leave it at that. And but beyond that, I know.
I'm speaking for the chat.
Some people know if you look at the chat. But beyond that, you've been kind of courted by Stuttering John lately.
What? Hey,
I saw the episode where he was telling his mom that you're going to be his future daughter-in-law.
Yeah, his mom's adorable. It's just funny. It's out of everybody, he probably just likes my picture. But I don't know.
Would you do him? Do you think?
No. Do you know there's so many? First of all, I don't know if this guy's carrying any STDs whatsoever. Because from his past history, let me tell you, he could just, I assume, take anybody home from the bar.
Right. You assume he probably didn't wrap it up.
How could somebody be walking around for like 30 plus years, sleeping with hundreds of women a year, I'm assuming?
250 to 300.
And not walk out with chlamydia.
Confirmed.
When's the last time? I want to see tests. Everybody would know our business if we do. There's like so many reasons. And he's not a bad looking guy. He could
he's hot.
Pull himself together, but it wouldn't mesh well at all. Sorry, John. I still love you though. I'd love to watch you from far.
He is the
Plus,
goat.
I'm in Montreal. He's God knows where in the States. So a long distance is not gonna work.
Who's the hottest podcaster you know, honestly, right now? You're actually attracted to? Seriously.
Podcaster or like Adam from MLC? He's so cute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, any of these characters who actually somewhat turns you on, like who you kind of vibing with?
I would say Adam.
It's got to be Kevin's producer.
I like someone like built. I'm 5'2", so he doesn't have to be tall. He doesn't look that tall. I like dark hair, light eyes.
Oh, here's a question for you, Gina.
Oh, that's a good one too. Sometimes both.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes both. Like, what really pissed me off about Chad, the last time when Onions was sniping him, he totally gave up on his show. I was so disappointed. What I liked about Chad was he took whatever shit he was getting from MLC, like the first 4 or 5 times they got into a fight. Remember last year when he just branched off on his own? That's when, the hype train, he just steals content from other people, makes it in his own. Like when I say hype train, I don't think of Erin and April. I think of Chad.
Right, he kills it every single time.
I think he needs to get the army helmet back because he gets that dragon energy when he puts that on. Exactly. And it's fucking the best. Yeah. So.
Exactly. I like the I'll fight you with whatever I have kind of Chad.
Me too. So I don't like it when he's down and out and moping. I like it when he's angry and taking no prisoners and beating ass online. So
he's doubt. He's not the best broadcaster. He's not gonna ever get 100,000 views, but you kind of like that little fire he had.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's not the best content, he's live at the time I'm looking for something to watch. That's how it started. Then I was in his shows so often that I don't remember how I became out on his channel, but I knew it had something to do with the evil Gina Bobinas. I don't know if they were commenting on his stuff or whatever, but it's the way he differentiates us.
Well, I remember one of the funniest things I saw Chad do was when he was doing his walking around stream and he made up like a whole fantasy of like a 5-year relationship that he had with you. It was creative. It was funny. It was off the top of his
hilarious.
Head.
And that's what I love about him. It's like the stupidities. He's ridiculous. Like he got into a pool live. Who does that? It's just funny.
It was
what
hard.
I like about it is the
It was good. It was
ridiculousness.
good.
So you got Chad over Ray. You got what other shows are you kind of dabbling in besides? I see you in SJ all the time. Who else? MLC, of course. Who would you take over?
I'm in there. I don't know. It really depends on who's live at the time. I don't have a show I religiously follow.
Vince the lawyer, you fuck with him at all?
Sometimes I'm in there. Yeah. Usually I catch up with Vince after. I love his content. He has good little recaps and his dry humor.
We're gonna get him on here because he's a G. You know?
Yeah, if he answers his goddamn emails.
Is it really him that's sending him Esjo stuff? That's sending Esjo some stuff? Is it?
I don't know. I don't know him like that. I just watch his shit sometimes, and I appreciate Vince.
It was him.
Vince,
when he goes through that door. Sorry, I'm talking over you a lot.
No, you're good.
No, when he goes through that door, I look forward to it. It's so exciting. What's he gonna get next? I love it. How he talks to the people, like the Ukrainian lady. He had to mention, he supports Ukraine. Even the Russian lady this week, he mentioned he was wearing a "I stand with Ukraine" shirt while he answered the door to a Russian.
Good man. Ukraine's a great place, great people, great warriors.
How to show. Vince,
he's just so funny. We're talking about Esjo now. Like, he's hilarious. I absolutely love watching him. I love seeing how he interacts with his environment. He's just, I think we all have an Uncle John somewhere.
Have you seen him on our show?
One of my uncles.
Did you see him when he was on with us? We had him on. You got to watch that episode. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah.
Really?
He is the GOAT. Yeah. We had him on for like 3 hours and it was like a roller coaster.
He's fun, right?
Yeah. He's a funny dude.
Yeah. I bet he would be a good interview.
But no, Vince.
With MLC, he doesn't really shine like John is meant to shine. It's like they're always putting him down. They're always talking shit on him.
No, John shines on our show, bro. But he kills it.
Like one of those shows where he's just chilling, he lets loose, says everything that's on his mind without getting pissed.
No doubt.
Those are the kind of Johns I like.
It was like your two little grandchildren sitting around at the fire and he's telling us stories. It was it was amazing.
And since we weren't Stern guys, like he had some good stories. I guess someone told me, he just repeats stories, which who cares? They're funny.
But that's the best part.
Yeah.
that's part of his charm. It's like the kind of shows where he knows he's a get, and you have nobody on, and he has that little smugness to him. That's my favorite John.
That's what he was doing the whole time, So we loved it.
I love it.
He was trying to trash us, put us down a little bit, which we loved it, and
every second of it.
Yeah.
I think Vince and Stuttering John have done a really good job because me and Mir aren't Stern guys, so we don't know a lot of the lore, and Vince has caught me up on a lot of the old characters and old stuff. He's good at that. Yeah. And he actually
he's a good explainer of events, and which in return kind of makes him like a really good broadcaster compared to these guys who have been doing it for 10 years.
No doubt. And he got me into Big Black, he was one of our biggest fans. He loves our show.
You don't know him before that?
No.
He was huge on Stern, Big Black. Everybody loves Big Black.
Yeah, I love him now too. He calls in all the time promoting our shit and saying we're the best shit since we're like the closest thing to Stern from 20 years ago, and like cites different interviews. So I love him. I want to get his ass on here too.
That'll be fun as fuck, to be honest.
This guy is so smart. Like I don't know, but back in the day, he was known for being one of the most genius of the whack packers, if you would consider him one. And he would just live like a vagabond. He would be on like SA. He would just stay home. He wouldn't have a real job. Or if he did, he'd have like the right amount of hours to kind of claim whatever he was. But the way he figured out the whole system, this guy has brains.
No doubt. And I know he's he's very much of a recluse.
He cracked the code. So when he speaks of a subject, he totally knows what the hell he's talking about. You underestimate him like so much. Everybody does, but he's a good get. And if you know what to talk about with him, it's gold.
Well, really? he watches all this. He's super invested into all the Dabbleverse stuff. So he knows everything that's going on and everything.
I see it.
Yeah. So I props to you, King. And
he calls into Onions a lot.
What was your take, Gina, on Phil Elmore? Because I saw he recently left or something, right?
Yes, I still don't know why he left. I heard for personal reasons. Maybe he didn't like the trolling. I don't know. But also Phil, I didn't get to catch him live most of the time.
We got
afterwards.
We got lucky to interview him for a little bit. He was honestly probably one of the most nicest people I've ever met.
Yeah,
and
he was great.
So well spoken. He's interesting to listen to. Like you don't get bored.
No, he's like an audiobook. You just keep listening.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
but he's like one of the shows I put on while I'm washing the dishes. Like I don't have to.
Exactly.
I don't have to like watch and be there 24/7 or I miss something. Like Shuli's.
And he was running
this. To be watching. They have so many visuals. Do you guys like Shuli?
Yeah. We had Shuli, Bob on. We've had him. I haven't been up on a lot of Shuli lately. I loved when my main specimen to watch or study is Ray. So like I loved when he was working with Ray and they would cover Ray. The Stuttering John stuff I'm into a little bit. Like I'll catch him when he's on, but I'm not as like deep into it as a lot of people. Yeah, no, those guys are chill. It's just one of the things I was going to reference about Elmore and kind of with Shuli is like when you're doing a show every day, maybe he got burnt out, because Elmore was doing a show so much. I don't know. I think so, and he had like a high meteoric rise and he was making money, but probably not a lot of money because none of these shows really make that much money, even like MLC or it's just, if you're not like doing it as a passion, I think it
exactly.
It's not
it
worth
dries out quickly.
Yeah. So
if it's not a hobby, then you're trying to make a career. Like I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Yeah. So what
he has a day job too, right? He would do it on his lunch hour, I think sometimes.
I don't know that much about Phil. I just remembered like we had him on and we were looking at all of his books on Amazon and it was funny as hell. And then he was telling us some funny shit about himself. So, but where do you stand with like the Shuli network right now?
I love Shuli.
Yeah,
love them.
Why is
They're
that?
So
Why
funny.
do you love Shuli? Because I mean, I'm watching the chat and everyone fucking hates him. So what the fuck?
I know everybody hates everybody on everybody's show.
Well,
like
what about Shuli draws
Dabbleverse.
you? What about Shuli draws you, honestly?
I like that I get my information, like I get little recaps of what's going on, especially when I can't catch up to Stuttering John's show. I watch it on Shuli's. So it fills me in on what's happened. A lot of John's shows, he does it members only, so I don't even watch those. It's like so not fun if I can't chat. So I catch up on Shuli's and there I chat at the same time. It's like best of both worlds.
Right, you're getting it all in one.
People say he's not funny, but he's fucking hilarious.
I think he's funny. I love Shuli. I think
I think he's a pro, and he's entertaining.
He's funnier than Bob. Like Bob's.
Whoa.
Really. I have never really compared both
Bob's
stand-ups.
a fucking king, all right? Put some respect on his name.
Bob's funny with his quirks, but Bob kind of plays the role. Shuli really, he's the conductor of the whole thing. He's got to play host. He's got to play comedian. He's got to like spice up other people's jokes. It's like
know when to move on the segment.
Like Bob's funny, laugh out loud funny when he's playing his Bob role. But Shuli is he's quick with his one-liners. He always has, like wordplay, like stupid shit that I love like that.
Right. They got a good tone to their show, because they're always laughing and goofing around. So it's like you can kind of just keep it on, and it's got a good vibe, basically, whether you are into him or who they're covering or whatnot.
And the chatters are
you feel good. You feel good, especially if you're. And I'm not gonna lie, when we were guests on the show, he made you feel welcome. He made you feel part of the show, and I did enjoy it.
Yeah, especially as a free chatter. Who does that?
Like I enjoyed way more being on Shuli's show than on MLC. Like I definitely did enjoy it more.
MLC is fun. Like I love Kevin, but I expect Kevin to be Kevin, so I don't really take it personally. Like I kind of expect Kevin to be yelling about somebody when I watch it. When he doesn't, something's off.
He's got a tone to his show that's consistent, I think. And it's just. Some people vibe with one, some vibe with the other.
And I love it when he's pissed that someone doesn't get that tone for his show. It's like, what the fuck? He came on, he was just talking seriously and being funny. There's no bullshit going on. He's not yelling at somebody. And that show really let Ray have an opinion, I find, too. Like, Ray got more balls hanging out with Kevin.
Yeah, he's trying to mimic a lot of the energy or attitude that Kevin has. And
Ray,
totally. I think he sees Kevin as like a father figure. Everybody does. Kind of Estro does too, in a way. Maybe Kevin has that, like, dry dad personality that just men.
He does, and he's
are
fucking
unstable,
bro. I don't understand.
Some men, not everybody.
No,
but
I mean,
I totally get that. I see.
It's interesting to see
Kevin as a daddy. He's a daddy type.
Daddy,
for sure. Daddy vibes.
Daddy vibes.
For
in
sure.
a good way. Yeah.
And that ties into another little subsect of like the Dabbleverse. What's your take on like the puppets and filters and all that type of stuff that's going on?
That is a good question. The filters, less. The puppets, hilarious. Love Tukey. Dabbler is, I think number one out of everybody. The talent just drips from this guy. Like, even if he had a sock in his hand, like, he'd be killing it. Yeah, he's just funny. His voice is Tukey doing an imitation of Kevin, hilarious. It's like he gets it.
Yeah, he's a sharp dude.
OJ, he has his ears and eyes everywhere. So OJ kind of knows what's going on in all the world.
The client said it best. OJ's a coward.
Yeah, he's not a coward at all. Like, I get it. Some people are nuts. And if you're trying to have like a real life
conversation
behind his Dabbleverse and you want to hide your face, I get it. But Potato's good. He scares me, but he's good. Like, I don't trust the Potato. I trust Dabbler more than I trust the Potato when it would come for podcasting. It's like, I never know if he's trolling us or if he's really giving out good information. He's always working on something. It's always a work with him. Hi, BYB. So
so there's and then that ties into another one. It's like that's kind of like the puppet. He does like clips of other shows and then commentary over them. I guess like Shuli, Tukey, BYB does a lot of that type of stuff.
And he was really good on MLC too.
Did Cardiff ever get exposed actually, or no?
Yeah. Oh, that was the other one, Cardiff. You watch a lot of his stuff?
I watch everybody. They're all pretty much even. It's like I don't really gravitate towards one or the other. Just whoever's on live at the time, I could watch.
Sure.
So,
Gina, you're part of like this area though. Do you remember Cardiff ever being exposed actually, or no? Did they ever actually?
What do you mean exposed?
Like reveal who he was? Yeah, was he ever actually doxxed or no?
No, but he was already. He did show his face on one of Dabbler lives.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I don't think he has it up anymore. But it was like when you were live, he did. I think it was the DabbleCon, and like Cardiff just popped on scenes, and you're like, "That's not Cardiff." And then he spoke, and it's Cardiff.
Right.
And he didn't have his mask on at the time, so I saw a little glimpse of him.
I think he does a lot of live shows, so I mean, I'm sure people know whatever, but
it's funny, but it keeps the mystery.
Yeah, it's like it's part of his brand.
Potato. That's the cutest potato ever.
What's your take on LNO? Have you transitioned towards that area at all?
Who?
NLL, Nobody Likes.
Oh yeah, totally.
That a lot. Okay, so you're like a big fan of that.
He's good. Well, you have to understand when you watch NLO, be ready for like rotten.com kind of shit, like verbally. Like if you like being shocked, like shock comedy, you could watch NLO. If you're gonna be a puss about it, just don't. Because
fair enough.
Even like my first times I joined, he was talking about what's her name? The girl who died, Joe's kid.
Joey C, yeah.
And it was so rough. It was
so
like,
bad.
Whoa. But like the more you get to know him, and he's told me I should have been lying down next to Chad's brother when they got hit by a car. So you can't take that shit personal. We all get it in the chat. We all get trolled on. And if you laugh about it, you grow as a person.
Yeah, I used to like watch Redbar a lot, and I just remember him from that.
To get into.
Yeah, he covered Redbar, or Redbar covered him for a long time as like one of his main fools. So like to me, I've always framed him in that picture.
Fill me in a little bit for that. What happened? I know from what I hear in chat is that they ran onions off the internet.
Yeah, I mean, so basically he kind of what NLO is doing now, his persona and like a lot of the things he was saying, he kind of took from like what Mike was doing to him back in like 2016.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ooh. So you can go back and watch it. Mike's kind of transitioned over
Has
to.
Has Patrick ever sniped that?
No, I don't think so.
He will not be.
That would be good. He wouldn't? Was it
funny stuff? That'd be career ending. He will not snipe that at all.
Yeah, it's all behind a paywall. So
really?
Yeah. But it's it's that same format. He was doing it, and then NLO is doing it now on YouTube. So, and Redbar does it all on his own server. So,
was Redbar as funny as Melton?
He's way fucking funnier.
Really? Those are big words. Because
Redbar is
fucking hilarious.
Hilarious.
Yeah, check it out. I mean, I'm sure you could find some stuff on YouTube, but yeah, he still does a show. His health is kind of, I don't know, it's sporadic how often he does it, but he covers a lot of like pop culture, like bigger pop culture things, some comedian stuff, but
I catch the clips. But I've never watched a full show.
So it's
what's got you laughing? Steven.
Yeah, so beyond that, who else we got in this verse that deserves a little props? Or
you guys are killing it with your guests.
Dude. Well, yeah, we do interviews, so we're just kind of
fun. But let's get a Ski Mask and Stevie Lou. What do you think about those guys?
I don't watch their show very often.
Of course you don't.
I like that most of the time when I watch them is through MLC. So, and before that I used to watch sporadically. Why are you laughing? What's so funny?
No, just keep going, sister. You're good. I'm just having a great time. I am pleased by your presence. You're amazing. You're beautiful.
Thanks.
I love you. You're perfect.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But those guys are pretty cool. The only thing I know about them, as I was saying, is just through MLC. So I really gotta do a deep dive or two.
I think Ski Mask was one of the funniest dudes we had on. He was into one of his benders, like out of his mind.
Balls.
Yeah, but he came on and did. He was just, we really like it when people come on and get crazy, get all drunk and
Gina, you want to get crazy?
Dumb shit.
No.
But sometimes you know how it is. It's like you get someone who's maybe more popular, like a bigger guest or more famous person on. And
who was the better guest, Stevie Lou or Ski Mask?
Ski Mask is insane, bro.
Well, we had Ski Mask on, and then Lou jumped on, and it was a nice little combo the first time. And then we had Ski Mask on to fight Chad once, one-on-one in a debate, and that was great too.
Really?
And then
Chad did that?
Yeah. It was a wild. They're screaming at each other. Yeah. Okay. So go back in the archives to check that. That's great. And then me and Lou and Dalish had a show kind of promoting Lou's boxing match kind of before. And that one, I would say that wasn't my best episode because I didn't have Mir, and it was one of those things. But Lou's, he just flows on the shows. So
he's the second mic, third mic. He's
good on.
So you had a show with Dalish. You had a show with AJ.
We've had a bunch. We've had AJ on a bunch of times. No, it was on Mir Musk. It was just Mir wasn't there that night. Yeah.
It's not like your own show.
No, I was just kind of hosting. So
like shit, you get around.
No. Me and AJ had a show, and then me and Mir, but kind of at the same time. We were just doing it different, with Jane. We were just trying to do basically non-Dabbleverse shit, and that's what it was. So,
and is it working for you? What gives you
we'll get it back.
Numbers?
Definitely the Dabbleverse. If you look at it, like kind of on that point I was making about who's famous and who's popular and whatever, like right now we're getting a good amount of people watching live because, and like celebrity or anything, versus like, we had Wonton Don from Barstool, who's pretty popular and famous YouTuber, and it was a great episode. But yeah, people just didn't jive with it because it's not in this tiny little bubble that our algorithm is all filled with. So you know how it is.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I have to admit, like, if I see Dabbleverse shit on one of the thumbnails, that's what I'll click on first.
Really?
Yeah, you love the drama.
You're that addicted?
I just love being informed. Like,
so what about
most of the drama, I know it's bullshit, but I want to see like Days of Our Lives. Like, Marlena wasn't really possessed by the devil. But you still want to know what she did that day.
But shouldn't you be into like Housewives of New Jersey or something? Why MLC? And...
No, I never got into the Housewives.
Oh,
never. I don't get it.
You don't get it. You don't get that. That shit's great. It's amazing.
No, it annoys me. But
it annoys me.
Yeah, it totally does. Like, just their way of speaking. They're so pretentious. It's like, I like better hood rat shit.
Yeah, this is an internet live instant
stuff that
drama.
It's funny enough to be on TV, but they never put on TV. That's what I
like.
I
got you. It's a little too raunchy for TV. So
exactly.
Plus, it's interactive. Like, people know Gina from just being in the chats
through them.
So she's like a part of it, you know. Ultimately, she's pulling big numbers on Mir Musk.
Kinda.
No, I know. Totally, yeah.
That's all I do. I'm just
but you got the best avatar.
Clips, try to be funny on Twitter, but other than that, I don't get it. I really don't get it, and I appreciate it, John. Love you.
You get into the.
But I don't get it.
What about like some of those compound guys like Gino Bisconte and Keanu Thompson? You watch any of their stuff or? Sometimes
when I catch it, mostly the Keanu stuff. She's more in my schedule, but.
You think she's funny?
Define funny. She's
exactly.
Cute. She's cute.
But is she funny?
No.
No, exactly. Yeah, she ain't funny.
No. Unless, you like little voices. Do
you think women can objectively be funny, like overall? Like,
yeah, definitely. Of course. Of course.
Okay.
But is Keanu funny?
No.
I don't know. I've never seen her comedy, really. So who am I?
I was actually trying to get another chatter that I really like. I was trying to get Mommy on. And
Mommy's good.
Yeah, we wanted to do a show a while ago, and then she took a hiatus from doing anything on screen. But she wanted to give she wanted to give you her best. But yeah, maybe she'll come back. Do you have any plans to do any of your own shows coming up?
I've always had that one day kind of dream, but I just can't commit at the moment.
Cool.
Because if I start, you can't stop. Because you got to get into that role, and you have to really be hard on yourself to do it like at a schedule, and I just can't.
You don't need a schedule it. You're fine unless you're trying to like blow the fuck up. You're just doing it for fun. It's all right.
Yeah.
Like most of the stuff I would talk about, it's all been said.
So
it's
like so you have to schedule it. Yeah.
I wouldn't do it alone. Like if I had somebody to riff off of, that would be more fun. But to do it by myself, I have a life. I can't.
Well, yeah. Have you ever had any like fans start like tweaking on you and try to like expose you or where you lived or any of that weird shit? Have you ever actually dealt with that, or you were able to stay away from that and have people?
There's nothing really to expose me off of. I'm pretty much, I would like to say, an open book, and I live a pretty boring life. But yeah, I've been doxxed in the chats before, and actually twice on Raise. It's always at Raise.
Raise, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But nothing.
You like Ray though, right? You like Ray for the most part, for real?
Yeah, he's adorable. He's adorable. He's funny in a Ray kind of way.
Yeah, yeah. He's very entertaining. I agree. He's my favorite guy to watch of all of these shows because it's just so fascinating.
It's like, I know not to expect comic view out of Ray. Like I expect, like him talking to one of the girls is my favorite. Him and Elise. Him and Elise are gold together, I find, because she gets it.
Yeah.
It's like she's not afraid to, throw it back in his face. Like she's funny. She's really low-key sarcastic too. I think she just put ups with it. So I kind of appreciate that kind of humor. Ray's funny without knowing he's funny.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Beyond that, I'm trying to think of.
And he keeps freaking DMing me his specials. Oh, could you tweet this out?
Oh,
Yeah.
does he? Yeah, I figured.
Does he do that to everybody? I'm sure he does.
Yeah, he
He
used to
DMs
before
me
he
a
blocked
lot.
me. Like, hey, check this out and trash it if you want or something.
No, how
like,
are you? Just here's my new
here's
special.
this. Take a
You
look
could
at
trash
it.
this if you like.
Trash it if you want.
So it's
just-
part of race funny.
Yeah. I mean,
Which
he's
I don't
hustling.
know.
He DMs a lot.
We had two producers from Gas Digital where he works a little bit that know him and run shows in New York, and they said he's one of the most hardest working hustlers in
I
like
bet.
the comedy industry. Like he
He wants
he
to
goes-
make it so bad.
yeah, he puts in the effort, and I didn't realize that when we were talking about it yesterday. So props to him for doing what he does to
Would you
get
drive
on.
all that way to make $200 on a gig? It's like you really gotta have.
Yeah,
the
but I
passion
think
for it.
I think there's some of that, and I think it's part of like tied into his identity of like if he's not doing that, then he's not a comedian. If he's not a comedian, then
Let's just
what
put
is he,
together a tour, get a manager.
Yeah.
He is kind of funny. It's like he puts thought into his jokes, his craft, if we will, but he tries. It's like I've seen worse comics.
Oh, who have you seen that's worse?
Oh God.
Let me hear.
Especially, you're putting me on the spot here.
Yes, I am.
But really bad comics. It's mostly on the YouTube scrolls. So many. A lot of the older guys that are kind of cringe and who have.
A famous one is
know the
Shab.
names.
Are you a
I don't
Shab
know
guy?
Shab.
Brendan Shab?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
Scott's a good man.
Yeah, he's a good man. He's funny.
Is he? Like Joe Rogan, I don't think his comedy is that funny.
No,
For
but
example, like he's really overrated. Andrew Schultz,
Oh, yeah.
people hate him, but I think he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I don't like him.
So
Wait,
maybe
Schultz,
it's
who's
just
that?
my taste.
Who's Schultz?
Pardon?
Andrew
Schultz.
Schultz, he's huge on YouTube. He's the guy who he's like the
Matt
white guy.
Rife, meh.
Yeah.
It's like he's overrated. Just
You'll
'cause
know
he's
Andrew Schultz if you
good-looking.
saw him. He's like
Oh,
kind
is
of
he
a
the
white guy.
ginger
Who,
guy?
no, that's a different guy.
No, he's dark
Yeah.
hair. He kind of looks like an old timer. He has a mustache, but he's
Yeah, and he,
pretty
like,
young.
acts like
A lot
he's
of
like,
racial jokes.
Yeah, he acts like he's black or whatever.
That's
Kinda.
cute. That's great.
Yeah, he code switches all the time.
He's
in
like
his-
Crip Mac. If Crip Mac was acting,
Crip
no, I mean,
Mac,
no disrespect. No. Hang on.
Crip
I
Mac's
know
on a
you
different
know.
level.
Yeah. I don't mean any of what I just said. Crip Mac, I love you. That's all I'm going to say.
Ari
Yeah.
Spears, him too, not that funny. It's like most of the guys that really have a name for themselves in the comedy scene, you're kind of like wondering if they're a plant. Comedy plant.
What's your take, honestly, on like, let's say, gosh, what is it? The new people kind of coming into this, like our shows, let's say like Hack Ride and all these other things. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
all
welcome it. Are you kidding?
you do
The more the
enjoy
merrier.
actually like having these like newer like fans creating their own shows. You actually enjoy that, or are you kind of
Yeah, of course. I want it to live forever.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna evolve. You're gonna have new people. You're gonna have new chatters.
Right.
And I don't know. The win for me is having people to riff off in chat. Like I'm usually, if not cleaning or doing whatever, I'm listening to chat just to see who's in chat. I'm listening to the show just to see who's in chat.
What's your take on Joey C? You like him?
Yeah, I like him. His content, sometimes I just can't. I can't listen to it. The audio issues when he's doubling and, you know, he doesn't realize, even though we're all telling him in chat, yo, you're being doubled or tripled in audio. I just can't.
Yeah,
But,
I get that.
most of the time, he's just ranting about something. I love Spider. Spider's
great.
Yeah, I love him. Seeing him on the show, it just kind of adds to it. But Joey's best with Spider.
They're great
When it's
together.
just Joey ranting with bad audio, I'd rather look elsewhere.
And he's good when
Christina's
he's
not bad,
with John
I
sometimes
wouldn't mess
too.
with Christina.
No,
Pardon?
he's good with John as well.
Joey
Joey
C,
C,
he's
yeah.
pandering to John.
I know,
it's very
but
suck-uppy, I find. And he means it because I see it's genuine from him, but he just latches on to John so hard, just almost as much as John latches onto him.
John latches on to Joey C.
Both of them, totally. They're like suction to each other. When
I'm
they're
trying to
together, they're just like stroking each other's balls.
Did you know? Do you know any what happened with that show you were on with the
Which one?
not Win by Two, but no, Total BS. Total BS.
No, what happened to them? I know that they both have jobs.
Oh, okay.
But they said they were supposed to come back, but they never came back.
Yeah, good
so
for them.
Maybe
They probably
it's also a commitment to the schedule. Reason.
They probably broke out of the matrix, you know, of.
But they were funny. Like, I even forgot his name. Brian. Brian is. I find he's really funny, and Shayna too. So them together, they riff off each other better than Erin and April.
No.
Yes.
No,
April gets on my last nerve.
April's a badass because she's willing to
She's badass, yes, but most of the time she's just like defending herself against her husband.
No, that's what makes it so great, dude. You need her to be
okay. If you like that
she's
shit,
so unstably unaware of how to socially talk about things about her husband that she just says it on air, and it's fucking great. That's what makes them so goddamn funny, dude.
I don't know. She's mostly just don't say that. Oh, you know, she's. I don't know how to describe it, but she looks uncomfortable on screen. She looks really uncomfortable, like always.
Sometimes that's radio gold.
If she'll say something, she'll say why she's saying it. Like she's so afraid of the trolling kind of thing. So she puts a lot of thought into what she says. So what does slip out is usually gems.
Like when she said her and homeboy have had not marital issues, but remember that weird thing they had going on about like coming or something like that?
Yeah, that she can't come because of him. He probably doesn't eat good puss.
What is your take on that, honestly? Like, you're a female. Like, when you heard her actually talk about that and say all those things, like, as a female, what were you kind of taking away from her?
I think she was mad at something else. Like, that coming thing is just something that she knows would embarrass him. But I think he must have pissed her off the past 24 hours from then on. And she got back at him with it because not to say that about your partner, especially if you have a show together and you put that much thought into what comes out of your mouth. That was deliberate, in my opinion, and it was fucking hilarious. We're still talking about that.
Yeah, it sparked hours and hours of content. So it was
See, if that was them all the time, I would watch more. Like, I like their banter when they're fighting. But when she's just like making excuses for him or what they do, it's like she has the tone in her voice like she's talking like to a kid, you know? It's like, you know that tone your parents had when they would lie to you? It's that kind of tone. Have you ever noticed?
Yeah. I've picked up on it a little bit. I never really watched their show too much. I mainly have learned about them through other people clipping it up and talking about it. Mainly Chad, because he had always and NLO I was watching it when he would cover it a lot. So
Erin's a lot better on his own than he is with fine.
We had him on, and he was
great.
He can riff, and we were talking sports, so it's like we had something to kind of go on. So, but yeah, he was good at that. So, but yeah, another thing I think I saw that you're into like some blockchain and crypto stuff, or you were, right?
Yeah. I'm
learning
TA as we speak.
You're learning what?
TA, like reading charts.
Technical analysis?
Yes. Yeah. I've done everything wrong in crypto. Like, I'll just be upfront about it. I've been doing it since 2018. Okay. So everything that you could fuck up in crypto, I've fucked up. And there's so many long stories, from just bad investments to like 6xing my money. I put in like $200 in Dent. It was at the time. So
I got the dental coin or whatever.
On that. It went like up to almost 15,000. And then I was such an asshole. Instead of pulling out, like, I lost almost half my money. Just, being a full shill. Oh, it's gonna go back up. It's gonna go back up. Anyways, it didn't go back up. So I pulled out after I lost half of it. Screwed up on that, did more bad investments. I started doing artwork for developers because they used to be on Telegram a lot. So I'm like, I could, do some art, get some contracts. I started getting some commissions on the side. So I was doing that for a while in crypto, and business is really, going well at a certain point until you realize, the people you're actually working for, they become so shady after a while. It's like you start noticing all the little, the how do you say, the inexperience of someone in crypto. It's like, what the fuck are you doing behind the scenes? And you start looking at the wallets. They're like pulling out money from their own community wallets, and you start catching up. You start learning about rug pulls. So I unfortunately have worked for a couple of rug pulls in my life, and that is the biggest embarrassing in crypto. The biggest embarrassing moment of my life is probably getting a shilling for a rug pull. What's worse than that? It's like, no, they're cool. They have a YouTube show. Can't be. It's impossible. If they were a rug pull, they wouldn't show their face. Meanwhile, they're still on YouTube. They're still trying to show their product. So, so many bad investments. So when I finally pulled out, this is like before the crash and everything. Thank God I did that. That's when, I started learning the ins and outs of crypto. Like I found a YouTube channel that actually helped me out a lot. So I started learning with this channel how to read charts, how to it's basically pattern recognition. So it's really easy for me. It's like, I really urge you to learn TA if you want to get into crypto. Don't get sold on the developer, just get sold on the charts and try your luck.
Well said. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. There's like people who use TA, which I don't know, you can take it for what it's worth with the, Elliott wave and all that stuff. And then you can do I think order book trading and volume-based trading is better if you're going to be using chart trading.
If you like the higher market caps, yes. But I love the low market caps.
Yeah. Okay.
The new developers, the new ideas, like NFTs, for example. Everybody shits hard on NFTs. But if you use NFTs in a smart way, for example, like comedy clubs to sell your tickets, like you could use that as a receipt basis kind of thing. Concerts, hockey games, like anything you could sell a ticket for, that's where NFTs would excel at. Just for like the volume, the calculation speed, the authenticity. It's like just I don't know. Nobody's doing it. So it's still young.
Yeah.
Crypto is still young and it's very underrated.
There's a lot of stuff that's always changing in it, and the life cycle of stuff moves super quick and things turn over. But the big news that just came out was, I just wanted to touch on it because I knew you knew about it, was the ETF got approved for Ethereum by the Securities and Exchange Commission. So
that
I think
scares me.
Yeah, so I think it's got 2 billion volume already traded.
Like it's
in the
good.
first day.
It kind of authenticates it also, but why not BTC? It's like, I don't know. I don't get it. BTC is more uncentralized. You know what I mean? It's like nobody holds the key to BTC.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's all ideological stuff, and there's so much politics behind, like, why not this token, why not that one, and like the BTC people are always,
and after all that shit they caused with Ripple, why wouldn't they use Ripple? I don't know. It's just so many questions.
Exactly. You can
I don't trust them.
Yeah,
if the government is going after, like, is really advocating for a Bitcoin, or not a Bitcoin, but a cryptocurrency, I question the motives behind that. Maybe I'm just paranoid, and so be it. But
I think ultimately,
why not BTC?
I think they're all going to kind of fall to the wayside, and I think there's just going to be a stable coin that's issued eventually here, whether it's pegged to the US dollar or there's just something new about it. But
they have no choice. It's either that or gold. And do they hold enough gold?
Or an aggregated I don't know, metric of measure that they're going to create or something. But that might be over the next 4 to
right now, what's
7
keeping
years.
them afloat is just their propaganda of the American dollar. It's like you have that reputation behind it.
Yeah. Well, one thing too is if you track like the USDT prints, that a lot of times indicates when things are going to rip, and you can, long it and
Yeah.
make $1 or $2. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's
Or
kind
shorting
of
the market. You could make a pretty dollar off of that too.
it's kind of interesting in there too. There's with all those projects you mentioned, there's like these little subcultures of people, and then and communities that get really tied together, and they all believe like, well, this one's this and that, and this one's that, and they fight and do different stuff too. So there is like something
Hope
extra about it. Yeah, there's something extra about it than it just being like, oh, this is money. It's like there's a whole ideology to it.
Yeah, exactly. There's a whole substance and use behind it. It's like, this could be really good if somebody does it smartly.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's just, charge.
Well, I think it's going to be a big year for that type of stuff. So
I think so too.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of new stuff. I think things have kind of worked in, eras or epochs, not like the happening, but it kind of follows that where like, you had the first exchanges, then you had like all the little side tokens that came out or that you could trade. And then you had the DeFi stuff, and then you had the NFT stuff. I'm still looking for like what the next like retail craze or like thing that
it's going to be AI. A lot of AI stuff.
You think AI tokens are just like, yeah,
AI
maybe. I think
developers,
so too.
AI and gaming, I would say, are always one of your best options.
I tend to agree on the gaming side, and I know the AI thing. I'm just trying to think of the economics of what value does the token bring with the AI stuff. But I know AI is all the hype, and if people launching AI tokens now,
well, now it's a bit late.
What you
I don't know, unless
Facebook shit. What's that shit called?
Say that again. Sorry.
Metaverse. What's your guys' take on that? Honestly, like for real.
I never tried it.
It's a good concept, or
no? It's like Roblox.
Yeah. There's some of that.
It's
cool.
Roblox. Just meta.
It's infant stages and all that stuff for digital worlds where, it's kind of like a cross between, like Roblox and
Life. What's that song
Second
called?
Life. Second Life.
Yeah,
like some of that type of stuff where there's economies in there. But yeah, digital identity and all that type of stuff. It's all, you can, if you have foresight, you can kind of see where it's going with that, and value exchange within that is going to be done. So it's a cool thing to watch. Yeah. But like, I don't know.
Now it's just publicity and marketing that's in there.
Yeah. And that's a fine line that you see where it's like how much of this is just hype and hot air and how much of it is practical use that drives volume.
Yeah. You have to have something keeping you in that platform.
Yeah, no doubt. So
for sure. And so far, I haven't seen anything that says I would really want it. Like if I really wanted to have an alter ego, I would play World of Warcraft again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's different sorts of metas. It doesn't have to be on Facebook. I think it's just overkill. They're spending a lot of money on it for nothing.
Has certain governments already regulated cryptocurrency in some of their countries already? Hasn't already started to happen?
Yeah, absolutely. Portugal doesn't even charge you taxes if you move there. There's also Greece. Greece is good with cryptocurrency. Spain's pretty good. You have like all the shady people go to Bahamas. So there's like little, I think even Dubai is
that, David?
Pardon?
Nothing. I'm just making a joke towards our buddy.
Dubai's really big on it, and they actually have a whole next to the DIFC, the financial district. They're building a whole crypto zone right now.
Really?
Yeah. It's a whole.
That's a fun fact.
Binance moved their headquarters there, and
Binance is there.
Yeah, so it's bigger over there. It's one of those things. It's like some governments are. It all comes down to tax with government. So some governments are taxing it hard or are vague on the rules. Some are saying, "Hey, come here. We're not going to." I don't know. So it's like one of those things where it's like there's not clarity across the board, and that causes people to be like hesitant. But this ETF thing is like giving people some confidence to,
some people.
go along.
Some people, I don't know. What's the catch? They're making this too easy. And why ETF? What's in that code? You know what I mean?
Well, the
Wait,
ETF, people can buy the ETF within like a retirement account. It's basically, or on like a.
You could do that with BTC.
You can, but at the same time, like, I don't know. The decision making behind all of it. It's just there's.
Remember FTX?
Yeah, exactly. So there's all this different type of stuff that can be done with the ETF that
I don't know. I just don't trust them anymore, especially after that FTX thing. It's like everybody gets their cut except for the people putting in their money. I don't know. Maybe I'm jaded.
That was crazy.
I'd rather put my money in a good developer that has, you know, a stable plan to get to a certain point and that has a good product. That's my. That's my
it's
get.
Still, I would say it's still kind of Wild West out there for that.
Yeah, it is
stuff.
totally.
But yeah, it's kind of like what you said. It's there's potential to be creative and create opportunity, and it's all about attention, mind share, that type of stuff. So if you can create something that people use, it drives volume, you collect a small percentage of fee, then it's good. You know.
Exactly.
So. But I think our numbers are dropping like.
Are they? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's my fault because I kind of brought it up. I wanted to just touch on it, but yeah, Mir, what else you got for her?
What else you got?
What else I got for you?
What's going on in chat?
Just great things. So I kind of want to ask you some other questions about you personally because I want to learn more about Gina. I don't care. I do care about your aspects of what you think about shows and whatnot, but. You as a person, like, what kind of like drew you into like this type of comedy? Is it like from your your family life? You were kind of drawn to it. Like, what kind of like made you fall in love with this type of like raunchy, dirty, provocative comedy?
I was always watching it. It's like ever since back in the day, Howard was raunchy, and I would just gravitate towards that because I find TV is like so fake and so overproduced. So I like the thing about Howard was the fights behind the scenes, you know, like with all their employees. That's the best part of it. So the Dabbleverse, that's pretty much all it is. So it's always a stupid story.
Did your dad get you into this type of comedy, or is it your mom, or like?
No, my parents are both like Sicilians from the country.
Shit, you're Italian, Mom?
Yeah. I was first generation born in Canada.
You guys,
so they don't get any of it. And what really sucks is that I don't have anybody to talk about the Dabbleverse with.
Really?
You know, nobody gets it. I tried to explain it with my sisters, but they just don't get it.
Wait, you're Italian and you're in Canada? Why don't you guys go to New York or something? Why'd your family move to Canada?
Because my grandfather found work in Canada. He worked in the Yukon building villages. So he was mostly in construction and logging. He was like a badass guy. So he got shipped over here with all the Italian immigrants to do construction. They built the Yukon Northwest Territories, like more the north, and they settled in Montreal. It was warmer. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
And eventually he shipped over my grandmother and her 4 kids. And my dad, the same thing. They all came by boat and they landed in New York and made their way up in Canada. I think it's because they knew more French than English, so they came up to Canada.
Oh, I got you. Okay. So you really enjoy like the aspect of living Canada as Italians compared to possibly the U.S. Is it pretty friendly for you guys over there in Quebec?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any issues.
As long as you know.
Maybe other people do.
As long as you know French.
As long as you speak French and you're cordial. But usually people mind their own business here.
Okay,
but none about it.
But none of your family had like raunchy comedy, like
no.
But you were the first one then.
Yeah, I would say pretty much.
And then you found Howard Stern, right, and all that.
I found Howard Stern, and then I got introduced to the Dabbleverse. So with the Dabbleverse, I saw like a little bit of it was mostly like the Stuttering John shit, and then Shuli started his own show, Carl. So I liked Carl and Shuli kind of crapping on SJ because it was just so funny and nobody else was doing it at the time, or at least that I knew of, really. So that was my introduction. And then when I started doing research for my own channel, my Debbie Dabbler channel, I was watching a lot more of John's content, and that's when like you're just inspired. I haven't laughed that much. Like that was the best era when you're first discovering everything.
So Gino Bobina,
Yes.
how are the Italian men in Quebec?
How are they're okay.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like no like takers, no nothing like that. No nothing.
No. And I think I'm good with it, at least for now. It's
At
like
least
once
for
I
now.
know, I'll know. But I'm newly separated. Everything's fresh.
Oh.
I kind of like.
Oh, I got you. I'm
chilling.
sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm good with it. But
Okay. What
we'll see. I'm in no rush. I'm still transitioning mentally.
It's very recent then that
Yes.
transition happened. Oh, I got you. Okay.
It's about a
How
year.
fresh is it? Is it pretty fresh?
So a yearish.
So you're already kind of like living on your own. You're doing your own thing. You're like already progressing towards, out there and doing your own thing now and everything like that. And you're doing good, I'm guessing.
It's a lot of discovery. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, a lot of self-discovery. I know
you,
what annoys me now a lot more compared
how
to
long?
you know what I mean? Like I know more what not to look for than
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Wait, how old are you? Do you mind me asking how old you are?
41.
Oh wow, shit. Okay, so you're like, how long were you in this relationship for then?
20 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
You are like, that was like, because like 21 as Italian in Quebec, I'm sure you were the Italian man in some aspects, pretty close to this person. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and we get along. We're co-parenting. Everything's great.
Right. You feel like you're good with that, but
I
you're
don't
starting
see
to learn
it
about you as a woman, what
again.
you really need and want, though. Wow.
No, it would be nice, like if someone really stands out in the crowd, sure, but like I'm open to the possibility, but I'm just not in a rush at all.
No, you're only
right now. I'm just concentrating on my bag. I'm working. I'm trying to get some shit, put my shit aside. It's like I had a rough year this year, so I'm just rebuilding from scratch.
Right.
So I don't know.
I mean, 21
it's
years.
Exciting.
Years.
It's scary as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm excited. I'm optimistic, stupidly optimistic.
Well, I think the future looks bright for you.
Oh, thank you.
And you are, like we mentioned before, one of the most prolific chatters of this era of the Dabbleverse. So
I'm in great company.
Yeah. So
love seeing you guys in chat too, especially you, Chow. I think we have the same taste in podcasts.
Yeah, we both like Chad and Ray.
We both get it.
Yeah.
We're everywhere.
Personal?
Pardon?
Can I ask you something personal or no? Or you kind of
sure.
Like
what?
About your ex-husband.
What about?
What about him kind of like deteriorated you from like being with him? You're like, you know what? This is the final straw. I'm done. Like, what kind of put you that? Because that's a good question. You had kids, I'm guessing, like you said.
He would take stupid risks and
like money risks.
Pardon?
Like money risks.
A little bit of everything risks.
Okay.
And your opinion never counted.
So he never listened to you.
No. But it's kind of my fault too, because I never really put my foot down. Before I was more like I didn't want to fight. So you just try not to be annoying. But then like after a while and you see everything just falling apart around you, you put your foot down. And when nothing changes after that, it's like, fuck. Either you're going to take me down with you or I go out on my own. So that's pretty much what happened.
How'd the kids take it?
And it makes it so much harder when they're really funny and they're a great parent. It's like, you're torn because you wish it could be better, but you're kind of screwing yourself over because you're just both not on the same page anymore. That was the hardest part, just accepting it.
But this is crazy though, because you guys probably met in high school, right?
After high school.
Right after, right? And then, hang on. Mir, that was a bitch question. Did you shut the fuck up, Dalish, and go suck another cock? Anyway, so I think it's just like you were with this guy since 21, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure you guys had kids. You were together for 20 plus years. Like there was no point in time where you might have. I mean, I'm sure you already thought this. You're like, I need to try to make this work with him. But he has to try.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The last 10 years of our relationship was pretty much that.
Wait, how many last years of your relationship?
About maybe 10 years. It was starting to deteriorate.
After 10 years?
Deteriorate, yeah. And then you just, at a certain point, you know that it's just not going to work out. It's like, there's not even any point fighting anymore because it's just a loop.
Oh, okay.
That's when you just shut down.
I'm sorry, man. That sucks, dude.
That's okay. It happens.
But you guys are cordial. You're fine, man. You know, it's just like a happy separation.
Yeah. So far, so good.
And
I don't want to jinx it.
You don't want to. Cheers to that. All right. I'm sorry I asked that. I didn't want to get like too personal with you, girlfriend. I just kind of want to know a little about your backstory because you're not like a public figure. And you had a little interesting story, so I figured I might as well ask it. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like press you or nothing like that. So
no,
I don't want to say
that way. And the timing of that, like my separation and the Dabbleverse, that kind of solidified my my fascination with this whole world kind of thing. It was a good distraction. So then you get attached to the characters.
It's a coping mechanism.
Definitely a coping mechanism.
Okay.
Yeah, you do just disassociate from your life at that moment when you're watching a show, when you're in chat, you're laughing, you know.
Right.
And these people are fucking funny. Like these people in chat are hilarious. Most of them, I would say, are better than the actual podcasters I watch. So it's like you never know who's gonna be there, who's gonna be like riffing with you. It's just, I don't know. It's all fun and games.
It's all just a constant drip of dopamine when you're looking at that chat. Like, whoa,
exactly.
what's this?
Yeah, boy, I'm just here like this. Mir isn't funny though. I'm not, bro. I'm fucking trash.
But you ask good questions.
I try, sweetheart.
Yeah, we're not funny. We're just
you guys are
interviewers.
Funny. You don't even know Chow. Most of the time, you have a really dry sense of humor, kind of like Vinny the lawyerish. It's like you never know, but the words you say could tell you get it. It's like you're trying to get to that answer you want. Like especially the guys that you're interviewing, you know what to ask, how to get it. You're a couple of steps ahead of your own questions.
Well, I appreciate that, and I've been compared to Vince a couple times. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. I
see it. Totally. And that's pretty much it.
Right. I mean, anything else you want to say, Gina? You good?
Was chat nice?
Yeah, they were cool. Cool enough.
They're nice.
Okay.
You know how it is.
Oh yeah. That's why it's not on right now. So I'm counting on you.
Yeah, you know, they were cool. They were cool to you for sure. A lot of fans.
Awesome.
So yeah, if you got any time to go back and catch it, you can find out who's simping and who's hating. But no, all in all, is good. So appreciate it. Yeah, you brought the big numbers today, and
I did. I'm honored.
It was a pleasure having you here.
But I'm honored.
You're a sweetheart.
Anything you want to like promote?
Not really.
Your channel, your clips.
If you want, follow me at Debbie Dabbler on Twitter or on YouTube.
Very cool.
That's pretty much it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Queen.
Goodbye, love.
Bye.
Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Later.
All right. Peace out, buddy.